Let me take you to a small village named Owerri, where there was a young woman named Nia. Nia was the most beautiful woman in the entire village. No one could match her beauty. Her skin was smooth like the finest honey. Her hair shone like black silk in the sunlight, and her smile could make even the hardest hearts soften. Nia knew she was beautiful, and she loved it. She used her beauty to get anything she wanted. She would look at other girls in the village and laugh, calling them ugly or plain. She would take the best things for herself without a second thought and humiliate anyone who dares to stand in her way. Look at you, she would say to the other girls. You could never look like me. What would your poor parents even say about your face? The other girls would lower their heads, their hearts broken, but no one dared to speak back to Nia. She was feared and admired because of her beauty, and every man in the village wanted her attention. Most of the girls lost their self esteem forever after being insulted so badly by Nia. They wished they could look as good as her. Some even went into depression and often questioned why God decided not to make them as beautiful. But Nia seemed to enjoy all of this and the effect it had on the girls. Nia got her way with everything. If she wanted something, she would smile and charm her way into it. She could have any man she wanted with a simple flick of her hair or a sweet word. One day, as she walked to the river to fetch water, she spotted a handsome young man named Kofi looking at her. His eyes sparkled, and Nia knew he would be hers in an instant. Hey, Kofi, she called, flashing her most enchanting smile. Why don't you come help me fetch water? I'm sure you wouldn't mind spending some time with me. Kofi smiled nervously and came closer. Nia knew her power. She also knew that Kofi was married. The marriage of Kofi and Adaeze was one that was talked about by all. Everyone spoke of how Ada was lucky with her husband because he was so hardworking, yet caring, loving, and supportive. He stopped Ada from doing any work, making it clear that he would do all the work and make her live a comfortable life. Nia took interest in their marriage as well. She wanted to know what was so good about Ada and to see if she could get Kofi if she truly wanted. She used every bit of her charm, leaning in a little and laughing in her most graceful way. Soon enough, Kofi, though very hesitant at first, thinking about his loving wife, was carried away by her beauty. It was not a shock that Kofi had admired Nia for a very long time, as everyone in the village admired her. But he knew he could not have her for himself, as she was way past his league, and now she was giving him attention he never expected. It started with him carrying her water, helping her with her chores, and following her every move. Soon, he gave into the temptation and slept with her. After Nia was satisfied with her achievements, she told Kofi she could no longer see him. One day, when they met under their usual tree, after dumping him, she walked away happily and went on to spread the information that she had slept with Kofi. Words flew fast and eventually got to Ada. Ada was heartbroken, and Kofi tried to repent, to apologize for being overcome with temptation, but the deed was done. Their marriage was ruined, and Ada went deep into depression, and she had to leave the man she loved with all her heart and start all over again. Mia, satisfied with this, moved on to her next target. Nia wasn't just admired by men, she made other girls feel like they were less every single day. She looked down on them, laughed at their struggles, and took great pride in the way they envied her beauty. She felt untouchable, invincible, despite the fact that she had no friends as she spared no one of the belittlement. She was content and satisfied because she had a new man in the village every time to cure her boredom. Until one day, when everything changed. It was a cold, quiet morning when Nia woke up to a strange sensation. There was a shiver running down her spine, something that felt out of place. She brushed it off and stepped out of her hut, stretching her arms to greet the morning sun. That was when she saw her. Standing at the edge of the forest was a woman. But this wasn't just any woman. Her skin was pale, her eyes glowed like embers, and her hair swayed like the shadows in the wind. The woman was beautiful, but her beauty was dark, ancient, and otherworldly. Nia froze. Her heart pounded. She felt her body tremble. Who are you? Nia called out. The woman didn't answer. Instead, she took a step closer. Nia could feel her gaze burning into her skin. I asked, who are you? Nia said again, trying to steady her voice. The woman smiled, and her teeth were sharp like the teeth of a wild animal. I am Amina, she said in a soft, cold voice. Nia didn't like the sound of her voice. It sounded old and deep and filled with power. Why are you here? Nia asked, her voice trembling. I have been watching you, Amina said. Your beauty has caught my attention, Nia. You are so proud, so arrogant, but beauty can come at a price. Nia's face drops. What are you talking about? Amina steps closer again, her voice low now. I have been watching how you humiliate others, how you take everything you want without care. You have stolen joy from so many people. I wonder if you truly understand what your beauty means. Nia took a step back. She had never felt so vulnerable. Something about Amina wasn't right. Stay away from me, Nia said. But Amina only smiled wider, her teeth glinting. We'll see about that, she whispered. And with that, she vanished into the forest. Nia couldn't shake the feeling that night. As she lay on her mat, she found herself thinking about Amina. She wondered if it was just her imagination or if the woman really had meant something by her words. But soon enough, she pushed it away. She was beautiful, she was powerful. Nothing could harm her. Days passed. Soon, Mia started to have nightmares of people chasing her with canes. When they caught up to her, they would beat her mercilessly, a target being her face. After those nightmares, every time Nia looked in the mirror the next morning, her reflection would begin to change. She would wake up in the morning and see strange marks on her face, as if something had touched her in the night. She did not want to believe that the dream was what was affecting her. Nia was devastated, but she did not know what to do about this. The changes were subtle at first. Her skin looked a bit rougher. Her smile wasn't as bright, and her hair didn't shine as it once did. She began to avoid going outside, as she did not want anyone to see her in this state. And she started to get lonely and bored, having no friends to keep her company. But the changes continued to grow worse. What was happening? One morning, Mia looked into the mirror after another nightmare and gasped. Her face was no longer smooth. There were scars, deep and red, stretching across her cheeks. Her once glowing hair was brittle and lifeless. Her beauty was disappearing, piece by piece. No, she whispered, her voice shaking. No, what is happening to me? She ran to her mother. Mother, look! What is happening to my face? Her mother gasped when she saw the scars. What could have done this, Nia? I don't know, Nia said, tears streaming down her face. It must be some kind of curse. She remembered Amina's words. You have stolen joy from so many people. You have humiliated so many. You have to pay a price. Nia didn't believe in curses, but she couldn't deny the connection. Amina had warned her. Desperate, she decided to find Amina and fix this. She would apologize and beg for her beauty back. The next day, with her entire face covered under a cloak, she went into the forest, trembling. She searched and searched for the strange woman, calling out, Amina, please help me. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. But there was no answer. The forest was dark, the trees whispering like secrets. Her legs shook as she pushed deeper into the woods, the wind howling around her. And then she felt it again. The presence. Amina was near. He came, Amina said, appearing from the shadows once again. Nia fell to her knees. Please, I'll change. I'll do anything. Just give me my beauty back. Amina's smile was cold. Beauty isn't free, Nia. It is given and it can be taken away. You must learn the lesson you refuse to learn. Nia cried. She begged, I'm sorry, Amina. Please, I'll never humiliate anyone again. I'll fix my wrongs. Amina shook her head. It is too late, Nia. You have already chosen your path. You can't turn back. And with that, Amina disappeared into the shadows. Over time, she was unable to hide the secret anymore, and the news spread wide. Most girls were happy that they finally got their redemption, while others felt pity for her. Nia's life was difficult from there on. She could not bear to continue living in the village, and so she said goodbye to her mother and left alone in search for a new home. Nia's beauty never returned, and the scars on her face were a constant reminder of her arrogance. Some say she became a wise woman, teaching others the lesson she learned the hard way. Others say that she was cursed forever, a beautiful woman turned into a shadow of her former self. No one knows the truth, but one thing is certain. Beauty fades, but lesson learned can last a lifetime. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications to avoid missing any videos.